Finally, after 500 plus applications, I landed a job at McDonald's. Upvote for support, a corporate recruiting postion for those asking. McDonald's rejects more applicants than Harvard, so consider yourself one of the selected few. Thumbs up sign. Tricked out Transam 5 months ago for real, for 16% M reply share report save. Continue this thread. I hit 500 plus apps on LinkedIn. After several heartbreaking interviews, I ended up at a gas station. Lost the job a few days ago. Hugs, stranger. That really sucks. I feel like I just went on a roller coaster ride. I actually quit my gas station job a few days ago. Probably wasn't the best idea, but I should be able to get a fast food job soon. I was working alone at night. People don't wear masks, they don't stand 6 feet away, they don't follow any health and safety guidelines for the virus. Plus, I was putting on a lot of weight there because I was bored and depressed. Whoa man. LinkedIn recycles old postings as new, even after the position is filled. It is time to move to a new platform. I don't have any coins left or I'd give you a virtual hug. Sorry to hear that, mate. That sucks, man. I ducking hate sending out job applications. How'd you lose the job? McDonald's denied me, so you got that going for you. Starbucks denied me. And so did the local grocery store. I just got my associates and the future ain't looking too bright for me. Opened the temp agency app and got a job in 3 days at a dead-end warehouse job. Been there for 3 months now, making 13/HR. 1480N_1994 5 months ago. See if the temp agency has a skills test. 0.2% M reply share report save. Took me 8 years of applying at the same McDonald's and I finally got hired. Big promotions coming your way, fam. Any day now and you'll be clearing 6 figures as a gourmet McDonald's chef. Deleted. I used to work at McDonald's and it's super easy to get promoted if you have common sense. Doubt it considering this post. Come on, this is clearly satire. They could have honestly gotten multiple offers including McDonald's, but wanted to post about McDonald's because it is more dramatically bad and relatable to a lot of people who are feeling down right now about the economy. I agree it would still be misleading, though. Maybe he added this detail later, but he did say that it was a corporate recruiting postation. Not just some minimum wage burger flipping position. 500 applications? How did you apply on Lee? Sorry, I haven't used it in a while. For me to apply to a single job, I need a few hours to write a single cover letter. Sometimes I can only send 1 or 2 applications a day. So for you to send 500, means it took you 250 to 500 days. Last April, I applied for 4 jobs, I got 4 of them eventually turned down. 1 job hasn't any jobs as of now. That said, I worked as a recruiter so I used what I know to get interviews. Quality over quantity anytime. For me to apply to a single job, I need a few hours to write a single cover letter. That sounds like a massive waste of time. Adali T12 4 months 3 go easy apply helps it out. I do easily 100 a day 41% M reply share report save. Continue this thread. Money is money and work is work. Use your time there to develop new skills however small you think they are. Team management, client interaction etc. Keep on applying. Lily Boots 5 months ago it's corporate. 41% M reply share report save. Continue this thread. Sorry, but this hard to believe. Walk us through your process. Still good. After 50 plus applications I landed a job cleaning bathrooms. Not the best, but honest work. We'll both get there someday, man. Cheers. Anxious Orca 5 months ago. This made me smile a little, thanks friend. 41% M reply share report save. A big hearty congratulations for landing a corporate role at MCDs. And of course, for your persistence and mental strength. I had been in a similar situation previously so understand how much it takes. Congratulations once again. And I hope you enjoy the role. X. Adali T12 4 months 3 go TY 41% M reply share report save. Just got a job making less than half than I did before. I just got a McDonald's acceptance too. It's for a crew position, but I'm honestly really excited to work there. Jesus Christ, where do you live? Is the job market that awful there? Shower_caps 5 months ago. Yeah, this is insane to me. 4-2 M reply share report save. The job market is shutting young people out of the middle class and we as a society are denying it because it doesn't suit our narrative. Every entry-level job requires previous experience, a list niche specialized skills, and has 100 plus applicants. How the hell is someone who goes to college and graduates even with a relevant degree supposed to make it work? I'm tired of being gaslighted on this topic. Everyone older than 30 or 40 tells me you just need to keep at it and something will eventually hit. But this isn't the reality I see. I don't get callbacks. I'm consistently rejected. Everyone else I know who's graduated is also working in roles that don't require a degree, like retail or cashiering or the like. People don't want to deal with this yet because it means admitting our system sucks and needs to change. I have a master's plus and I get the same situation especially after multiple interviews. Even after multiple knocked it out of the ballpark interviews. It really hurts when an interview goes extremely well and you still don't get the job. I have a PhD and same, actually feels harder with a grad degree than with a BS to just get your foot in the door for some reason. I feel like the middle class was destroyed 20 years ago. I went back and got a nursing degree. The work is brutal and a lot of the settings are 100% toxic, but at least there's some demand. I also got my master's degree now, but I'm only getting through CV screenings for jobs that don't require any degree other than high school. I'm afraid I'll have to settle for such a job. If they even offer it to me. I've been dropped after final interviews for even those jobs, because they didn't believe I wouldn't leave them for a better paid job since I have a master's degree. Even though I told them I'm not getting close to anything on my level in my sector as long as Corona is around. What do you have your master's in and do you live in a place with a lot of jobs in that field? It's really tough. I got lucky and was able to get an internship in the winter, and I think that helped me get another internship this summer. I am getting master's and struggled to get a job with just a bachelor's. Now is a terrible time to be looking for work. I'm 42 with a degree and relevant experience, and I applied for 140 plus jobs with tailored resumes and cover letters and received like 10 phone calls. The good news is I'm finally down to the background check phase on a job. People tell you to keep at it because it's really the only choice. It isn't fair, but it's the only option. 10/140 is an amazingly high hit rate in my experience. I've been doing IMO very well lately, and it is maybe half that. Even when it was a great time to be looking for work, I was getting nothing but shit offers. Companies see you as an investment at best. Most just see you as an asset to be exploited. They want to minimize their investment and maximize their return, and you don't have any power to negotiate. So I got lowball offers with no thought about work-life balance or benefits. And that's when I actually got an interview. Most companies are fine waiting for some sucker with experience but no ability to negotiate. Someone that took a lowball offer and is looking to get out of it for a job that pays about the same, but might be less stressful. I'm employed, but I've been looking, and I wholeheartedly agree. I've been getting a ton of interviews, but keep getting because of Corona. Other candidates are willing to work for much less than what you're asking. I always respond with, then you should be speaking to them, or pay for more experience. You want quality? You're going to have to pay for it. Me applying to entry-level jobs that want 3 years experience my 2-month internship ELS hire me hand pointing right, hand pointing left. I think you mean your 2 years of internships. People who haven't searched for job in years don't understand the paradigm shift in what's expected of candidates. With the pandemic, it's only worse. Recent grads need to tap into their network by reaching out to career services and their alma mater's alumni network. Reach out to the people you did an internship with as well. Look into temp agencies as well. Any semblance of a meritocracy is gone. Now it is only about who you know that gets you the job. I am dealing with the same thing after graduating in May. I have had internships, but apparently that doesn't count as experience. I have had a few interviews, but nothing. Then when you can't get a job, people tell you should have learned a trade, gotten a different degree, etc. It's horribly depressing. I'm 22 and I just want to move out and be independent. All of the advice I get is the same generic crap. People told us we had to go to college to get good jobs, and now we don't have them and we get called lazy. Yes, isn't it interesting to see our parents' generation talk about how we all thought we were too good for trade school, but they're who pushed us to go to college? Looking back, I'd do a lot differently. What? Internships counts as experience, and when you put it in your resume you need to highlight the things that's relative to the job. I have 3 law degrees, speak 2 languages, graduated the law school with a doctorate and passed the bar exam when I was 25. Still, no permanent job, just doing temporary/contract/gigs to keep afloat. BTW, I'm 27 now. Luckily I found a pretty good gig for now. But don't know how long this can last. Would love to see how other young professionals are doing. All I see on LinkedIn is people are shining and getting promoted. Post Savage 2 months ago, continue to work hard. Sounds like you have your headspace in the right place. Sometimes LinkedIn seem demoralizing, especially when you are comparing yourself. Focus on your end goal and trust me, make those connections with people in law. What has helped me a lot is informational interviews and staying connected. That connection can be a text message or an email, saying hello. You'll get your dream job. Stay on it. 13% M reply share report save. Continue this thread. I'm in Asia. You have to have a 4-year bachelor's degree in applying as a cashier in supermarkets. They're serious when they told me the requirement for a cashier position is a bachelor's degree in financial administration. I was expecting like an administrative position since they're at a job fair held inside the university. I'm applying for a job right now, and the job postings for level entry positions that I see every day is getting funnier. The description says fresh graduates are welcome to apply, then the qualifications say at least 2 to 3 years of related experience. I've applied for positions I know I'm qualified for, like having the right degree and related experience, and still, the reason for my rejection is that I don't have enough experience. It is frustrating for younger people nowadays that they're consistently getting rejected, ignored even just because they're fresh out of college with no experience. They want to hire the experienced ones, but they could only pay them with an entry-level salary. They should have a limit with the numbers of applicants they're accepting, or a deadline, at least. You could see positions posted more than 20 days ago and they're still accepting applications. They should just remove the entry-level tag if they want someone with experience. Also in Asia and dealing with the same frustration, many people I know with engineering masters end up delivering food to survive instead. We're all doomed and it doesn't look like anyone will be changing the market anytime soon. Well, I sure hope they compensate for that bachelor degree requirement for the cashier position. Why can't you just lie for basic jobs like cashier? My first job was cashier and the manager told me to come back in 5 minutes with some fake work experience added on my application so he could hire me LMAO. I hate it when people tell you that you just need to network better in order to get a job as if that's a magic bullet. Networking actually takes a lot of leverage and money and people generally don't want to network with people who can't help them. I hate when people tell me that I should reach out and message people in my field on LinkedIn, because most of the time they will just ignore you because they don't know you and have no real reason to help out some random stranger on the internet. Those who do respond are often people too low on the corporate ladder to really help you get a job, so they just give you the same advice you've heard before. Thank you. I wish it was that easy to network better. Well, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours is a saying, nothing is free is a saying, help them out they'll help you out, it is business, right? Although it would be nice if more people did things for the sole reason being that it is a nice thing to do. I know, right, and networking events are also full of other people there who are unemployed and want jobs. There are rarely people who can actually help you at those things because they already have their own network. I just really hate the concept of networking. It is not something you can just do once a week, it is something that happens over years of meeting people in your field and is usually something that can't be forced. I've gotten jobs via a recruiter, plain old applying, and through a coworker I worked with before. To me that's the true meaning of networking. Never have I ever gotten shit from networking events or trying to force a non-existent connection. Yet, networking is a long burn kind of thing. You can't just approach people with the sole intention of wanting a job. Probably approach them as making new friends, and hopefully, that will lead you to a job. When I was struggling to find a job, 300 apps, 25 interviews, 1 year, networking is a side thing that I do in parallel. Didn't expect much to come from it, but a good way to relieve some stress of mundane job hunting by going to free events nearby. What's considered young for the context of this post? 20? 25? Under 30, I recently quit my PT job in healthcare. I mean, it was secure and I had the 4th seniority. My boss asked why. I said I simply need FT hours now that I've moved further away from the LTC, and she told me to wait until the 3 above me retire. Retire? They're going to work until they die. I legit need to wait for Shelly to fucking die because she can't afford to retire and I can't afford to wait for her. So, I agree with this. There's no FT positions and it takes years to get raises now. Hopitual Engineer 23 2 months ago. This is just at one company. Have you tried applying T elsewhere? 2% M reply share report save continue this thread. I just got an MBA and I am in the situation. It is like was going to college and getting a degree so one can have greater and bigger opportunities, all false hope. I keep trying to tell business people that there is no better way to make a kid a flaming socialist than to put every job better than flipping burgers behind a $60,000 college paywall. 1100x this. Honestly, I think fast food pays more than what I'm making now. My cashiering coworker had a physics PhD. Drank till he got fired from grocery for drinking. Probably no longer remembers most physics. Anecdotally, some 19-year-old was so excited about getting a degree. I was so confused. I forgot associates even exist, because, idk. To me they don't. I've got 4, because the university pads their numbers by giving you any associates you qualify for without applying to graduate. It is all a joke. I think the real argument here is that the middle class is shrinking. No amount of specified training changes that, and your suggestion less people go to college, doesn't help the people you are encouraging not to go, only the people that still go. The middle class is shrinking because Republicans have been systematically undoing every foothold necessary for a strong middle class to grow. We have printed and dumped billions into our financial systems, and yet everywhere there's a liquidity crisis. Why? All that cash is being hoarded by the wealthy, and through offshore accounts. The US is a penal farm with a military. Most of the entry-level analyst jobs I see require skills that only experienced employees would have. Multiple software competencies, software that is not open source, or remotely affordable for a normal person, e.g. Tableau, SAS, SQL. They put these out as entry jobs because they need to be able to justify a lower starting salary. It's absurd. In my last job, the entire role revolved around data analysis, which I did well. However, I can't even get my foot in the door most places because I'm not familiar with the standard software/coding needed to perform the job. I understand that companies need to maximize productivity. This rigorous screening is a proxy for that, but Christ, it is demoralizing for 90% plus of applicants. You can kind of learn SQL online for free, or at least the basics of it if you need it for yourself. I was learning it last year, I think, when I stopped because I realized I was just wasting my time since I don't have a degree in anything, haha. Finally at a job that uses Tableau after multiple interviews harping on the fact I had no Tableau experience and can't believe this was that big of a deal. Like I'm doing a lot of this stuff but manually in VBA/Excel and Python code, and meanwhile they let my lack of drag and drop software experience stop them from hiring me. I saw some underemployment, either unemployed or working a job that requires no degree despite having a degree, data earlier this week. I may link it later. But what I noticed was that both nursing and elementary education had the lowest rates of underemployment at around 11 to 12%. Meanwhile, various engineering and CS majors were in the 30s, along with finance. Marketing and general business hovered around 50%. My theory about why this is the case is because that nursing and education both make all their students work clinicals or teach actual classes. But we don't do this for other majors. Why don't we put finance majors in banks as part of their curriculum? Why don't marketing majors get paired up with companies to do sales? Why do engineering and CS keep everything in the classroom? What we see with most majors is that companies don't want to do the required training, so they all pawn it off to someone else to do it, but no one actually does it. I honestly think that every student in business or STEM needs to have work experience as part of their curriculum, similar to what we see in nursing and education. It should be a win-win, and here's why. 1. Companies essentially get a massive amount of free labor. 2. The labor pool becomes so strong that any employer could be pick the worst candidate possible and still have someone who's qualified and be fine. 3. Students are guaranteed to get all necessary work experience and likely make more connections in the process. 4. Universities that pioneer this strategy would instantly become some of the top schools in the country, by providing much more than just knowledge. Asterisk, what we see with most majors is that companies don't want to do the required training, so they all pawn it off to someone else to do it, but no one actually does it. Asterisk, this X1000. The only way I found to break this cycle was by completing online certificates and taking learning my industry's main software into my own hands, as well as soft skills. Then I posted it on LinkedIn and made sure the algorithm worked in my favor. I even did extracurriculars I secretly hated and put it on my profile. It was only when I had just over 1,000 connections on LinkedIn, in a 100 kilometers radius to where I live in the relevant industry, that I finally hit the tipping point and started to get invited to interviews. It helped that very few others had utilized this strategy, and I had a glowing, well-articulated recommendation from my previous manager. This is one of the most underrated posts on this entire page. Well said. Clapping hands, son. It's arguably the worst in the soft sciences. Graduate with a bachelor's in history, English, or psychology, and you are qualified to do exactly nothing. You have to remember that job descriptions list what they think would make the perfect candidate for the position. That's why you often see entry-level or just out of college jobs requiring 1 to 3 years of relevant experience. In a perfect world, that's what they want, but the world isn't perfect and they have to settle for what they get, which is why usually people encourage others to apply as long as they meet 50+% of the job description. The issue with college grads right now is they're not only competing against other college grads for entry-level positions, but people who graduated prior and had the opportunity to work and get the experience that they are lacking. How many millions were laid off and thrust into the market within a few months? I hate to say this, but you really need to know someone and have them influencing the recruiter from inside. Even then, it is like pulling teeth at large companies. Unfortunately, it seems to be the case for me. It is kinda unfair, but I get it. T'argument that our current economic system is okay, not that you're meant, just saying. Port save. I have a bachelor's, completed the education requirement of a designation, have 5+ years experience, and I still don't have an entry-level job. I'm an accountant working administration. It's a generational war. They just want to hate on us and never retire. Even our own parents. Right now is worse than the 2008 crash, and this is just the beginning of it. We don't know the true extent or how long this would go on, but as long as the stock market is okay, no one should complain/s. I implore you to try your best and take what you can get for now, and tell everyone you know to vote, because if we don't, there is no recovery. This might become the new norm. 0 more jobs because a lot of people got fired, and there will be a low port save. I wish this was on the front page of Reddit. It's a serious issue that no one talks about because MSM dominates the national conversation around economic issues, and it's an issue that boomers and Gen Zers aren't affected by. Millennial issues are ignored in general IMO. As a Gen X who went back to school for a second degree, I am for sure affected by this. It is amazing how the generation that is both the youngest and largest Z is younger but smaller portion of adult pop has become the squeezed middle. We all need to advocate aggressively for ourselves and those younger than us. Incredible that we are talking about a group of prime age adults 25 to 45 years old. If we were living in the 1980s like the boomers, we would be collectively shaping reality right now, consciously or not. They were lucky to have elders who actively created a better world. The richer boomers in government and C-suites are ruining our lives just to be able to while away their retirement egg on pure nihilistic decadence, leaving nothing to their younger betters. Even the poorer boomers are benefiting because they're nearly all old enough to collect Social Security now. Running down the safety net. What a tragedy we have to clean up. What the hell am I doing ranting in a pro-nepotism/hardwalkisruerded/capitalismus our friend just don't get /skill up subreddit. I digress. /rant.
Like and subscribe for more Reddit content. Watch the next video at the top of your screen.